The topic of lesson 5 is understanding Fibonacci. Now, this is a very interesting topic, Fibonacci. It is one of the major reasons why I place my trade, and it is one of the major reasons that gives me confidence in placing my trade. Now, at the end of this session, we should be able to understand what Fibonacci is and why they are important in placing our trade and what they do in our thought process when a trade is to be placed. Fibonacci, a sequence of numbers named after Leonardo of Pisa, who was known as Fibonacci. The sequence of the number begins with 0 and 1, and each subsequent number is the sum of the previous two. Now, the first two numbers are 0 and 1. Now, when a 0 is added to 1, we have 1. Now, the sum of 1 and 1 gives 2. Now, we are adding the sum of 1 and 2 to give 3. The sum of 2 and 3 to give 5. The sum of 3 and 5 to give 8. The sum of 5 and 8 to give 13. We are adding in that sequence the sum of 8 and 13 to give 21. The sum of 13 and 21 to give 34. The sum of 21 and 34 to give 55. Adding in that manner, in that sequence, the sum of 34 and 55 to give 89. The sum of 55 and 89 to give 144. The sum of 89 and 144 to give 233. The sum of 144 and 233 to give 377. The sum of 233 and 377 to give 610. The sum of 377 and 610 to give 987. Highlighted in green are the Fibonacci numbers. These are the number in the sequence 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144, 233, 377, 610, 987 till infinity. As we are adding this number, the sum of the previous two will give the new number. Adding in that pattern will give us Fibonacci numbers. Why are these numbers important? Why do we place so much importance and values on these numbers? Fibonacci. The Fibonacci numbers are nature's numbering system. They appear everywhere in nature, from the leaf arrangement in plants to the pattern of the floret of a flower, the bracts of a pine cone, or the scales of a pineapple. The Fibonacci numbers are therefore applicable to the growth of every living thing, including a single cell, a grain of wheat, a hive of bees, and even all of mankind. Highlighted in green are the Fibonacci sequence. Fibonacci in plants. Phyllotaxis is the study of the ordered position of leaves on a stem. The leaves on these plants are staggered in a spiral pattern to permit optimum exposure to sunlight. That's amazing. The leaves are patterned in Fibonacci's order to permit optimal exposure to sunlight. We quite know that without sunlight exposure, leaf will not function effectively. Most likely they will dry off and fall off the branch. So they are patterned in Fibonacci sequence so that they can have optimum exposure to sunlight. That's amazing. That's a good discovery. That is how important the Fibonacci numbers are. Fibonacci in plants continued. Inside the fruit of many plants, we can observe the presence of Fibonacci order. Now, cutting a banana across the section. The banana has 3 sections as shown on the chart. The apple has 5 sections. Wow, interesting. As well as in the rose, the petal arrangement of the rose, the outer layer has 5 petals and the inside has 8. That is amazing. These are arranged in Fibonacci's order. Branching plants also exhibit Fibonacci numbers. Again, this design provides the best physical accommodation for the number of branches while maximizing sun exposure. Even the branching system of tree have Fibonacci's pattern. The first, we have 1 branch, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. This is very good for maximizing sun exposure. Without sunlight, plants cannot function effectively, and the branching pattern is ordered in Fibonacci sequence to maximize sun exposure. Ratios in Fibonacci sequence. We've looked at the Fibonacci sequence. Now we are going into ratios. In this section, we will see how important this ratio are. I'm sure I'm going to blow many minds as we will see new things, new discovery as they unfold in Fibonacci ratio and how important they are to our trading. We see them in nature, in things around us, and once we can see them in nature, and at the same time, it's not surprising that they are reflecting in our trading. 0.618 golden ratio. Picking any 3 numbers except 0, 1 and 2 in the Fibonacci sequence. Now, once we divide any number from 1 to the place of its right, we have 0.618. I'll repeat. 61.8 ratio is found by dividing any number in the sequence that is found 1 place to the right of it. So 21 divided by 34 will give 0.618 approximately. 13 by 21 will also give 0.618. 1.618 golden ratio. In the previous section, we look at 0.618. Now, in this section, we are looking at 1.618. In the previous section, 0.618 is called the golden ratio. The reason why it's golden will be discussed in the following section. Now, let's look at 1.618 golden ratio. Each number in the sequence is approximately 1.618 greater than the preceding number. Now, picking 13 21 and 34. Now 21 divided by 13 will give 1.618. Interesting. 34 divided by 21 will give 1.618. Pick any number. Pick 5, 8 and 13 and carry out this division. You'll be amazed. You will arrive at 1.618. You can pick any number, any three numbers in that sequence, and you'll be amazed at what you arrive at. That is how powerful Fibonacci numbers are. 38.2 Fibonacci ratio. 38.2 ratio is found by dividing any number in the sequence, that is 2 found places to the right. Now I pick 13, 21, 34. 13 divided by 34 will give 0.382. Take three numbers and carry out the same division. You will arrive at 0.382. That's amazing. The golden ratio. When conducting their researches or setting out their products, artists, scientists and designers take the human body, the proportion of which are set out according to the golden ratio, as their measure. Wow. We will look at this as we go on. Leonardo da Vinci and Le Corbusier took the human body, proportioned according to the golden ratio, as their measure when producing their designs. Interesting. The human body, proportioned according to the golden ratio, is taken as the basis also in the New Faith, one of the most important reference books of modern day architects. The golden ratio in human body. The ideal proportional relations that are suggested as existing among various parts of the average human body, and that approximately meet the golden ratio values, can be set out in a general plan as follows. The M/M level shown in the chart on the right is always equivalent to the golden ratio, where M/M equals 1.618. Okay, let's go on. The first example of the golden ratio in the average human body is that when the distance between the navel and the foot is taken as 1 unit, the height of human body being is equivalent to 1.618. Now, once you take the measurement of the human body from the head to the toe, if you record the number as big M, now take the length of the human body from the navel and the foot as the small m. Now if you take the bigger m, the number arrived from the bigger m divided by the smaller m, you arrived at 1.618. Some other golden proportion in the average human body are the distance between the fingertip and the elbow divided by the distance between the wrist and the elbow will give 1.618. You can take a measuring tape and confirm this. The distance between the shoulder line and the top of the head by the head distance will give 1.618. Amazing discovering. The distance between the navel and the top of the head divided by the distance between the shoulder line and the top of the head would give 1.618. The distance between the navel and the nail by the distance between the nail and the end of the foot will give 1.618. Is it not worth noting to take importance of 1.618? It's worth it. 1.618 is so important. Why are they very important? And we can see 1.618 surfacing even in human body, and that is why it is called the golden ratio. Golden proportion in the lungs. So the golden proportion also exhibits itself in the lungs. How? Let's look at this. In a study carried out between 1985 and 1987, the American physicist B.J. West and Dr. A.L. Goldberger revealed the existence of the golden ratio in the structure of the lung. Great. One feature of the network of the bronchi that constitutes the lung is that it is asymmetric. For example, the windpipe divides into two main bronchi, one long, that's the left, and the other short, the right. This asymmetrical division continues into the subsequent subdivision of the bronchi. It was determined that in all this division, the proportion of the short bronchus to the lung was always 1.618. Amazing. So the golden ratio is also seen in the structure of the lung. It's important. It's golden. The golden ratio in DNA. The molecule in which all the physical features of living things are stored, too, has been created in a form based on the golden ratio. The DNA molecule, the very program of life, is based on the golden ratio. DNA consists of two intertwined perpendicular helices. The length of the curve in each of these helices is 34 angstroms, and the weight is 21 angstroms. 1 angstrom is 100 millionth of a centimeter. That's how minute the DNA is. I'm sure it cannot be seen by the naked eye. It will only be seen under a very good magnifying glass. 21 and 34 are two consecutive Fibonacci number in the DNA, and you know, when we divide 34 by 21, we have 1.618. The golden ratio in space. In the universe, there are many spiral galaxies containing the golden ratio in their structures. Good example is the Earth compared to the moon. Now it is said that the Earth is 1.618 times the moon in terms of length. That's amazing. Now the last example I would love to state here is the Egyptian pyramid. The Egyptian pyramid could be able to stand the test of time because it exhibits the golden ratio in its structure. Now if you look at the length of the pyramid by the length of its base, you will see the golden ratio proportion. That's amazing. That's how important the golden ratio is. These ratios are seen in nature. Now, once these are seen in the nature, I think it is very wise thing to do to observe them in currency. Once they are seen in nature, and if they are seen in currencies, in FS, once we know that in the nature they are almost perfect, so we should expect to see that this ratio in traded FS should be almost perfect. 0.382, 0.618 and 1.618 are primary Fibonacci numbers. 0.786 is derived from the square root of 0.618. So that means 0.786 is not a Fibonacci ratio, but is derived from the square root of 0.618. Good. 0.5 is not a Fibonacci ratio, but it has been observed as a very good support stroke resistance level in a swing. And 1.27 is derived from the square root of 1.618. That means 1.27 is not Fibonacci ratio, but it is derived from the square root of 1.618. So our Fibonacci ratios are 0.382, 0.618 and 1.618. Now, Fibonacci in currency market. Fibonacci in currency market. Looking at this structural illustration given on the screen, length A to B. Now, 0.382 Fibonacci number or ratio is the same as 38.2 Fibonacci level. Now, 3.82 Fibonacci level, it's a 0.382 ratio of the movement from A to B. When price is moving, once it moves to 38.2, we'll say it has retraced 0.382 of length AB. 0.618 ratio could be said to be 61.8% Fibonacci level. 61.8 Fib level is 0.618 ratio of the movement from A to B. When price is moving, it's retracing within AB, and it retraced to 61.8 of AB, would said it has moved 0.618 of length AB. 78.6 Fibonacci level is 0.78 ratio of the movement from A to B. Movement of A to B, that is the retracement at 78.6, is 0.78 ratio. 78.6% movement from A to B. 1.27 Fibonacci level is a 0.27 extension increase in AB length of AB. So when price move outside of AB to 1.27, it means it has increased in length by 0.27 ratio, or by 27% of AB to form 1.27 extension. When price moves 1.618 Fib level extension, its 0.618 extension increase in length of AB. So when price move outside AB by 60% or 61.8%, we said it has moved extension, that is extended beyond AB by 61.8 to give 1.618 Fibonacci extension. For every retracement level there is an extension. So the Fibonacci ratio 0.382, 0.618, 0.786 are retracement level within AB, and 1.27, 1.618 are Fibonacci extension level outside AB. Price moves in Fibonacci numbers, creating ABCD pattern. In our trend analysis, we said price moves in ABCD pattern. Now, this movement in ABCD patterns have Fibonacci ratio sequence in them. Looking at the structure on the right of the chart, from the chart, price started to move from point A and moved rally to point B, that's 1.0. So the movement from A to B is 1.0. Now once price moved to B, remember it will retrace. Our AB is the impulsive wave. For every impulsive wave there will be a correction, and the price corrected the movement of AB to C at 0.618. So we have our C most likely at 0.618, and price moved to D at 1.618 of AB to complete a full wave circle called ABCD pattern. Now this how price moves. How price moves on the chart. So the movement of price also exhibits Fibonacci ratio, and that's how important Fibonacci ratio is. If the Fibonacci ratio are very important, very prominent in the nature, and we are seeing again how it is important, making relevance in currency markets. Now in the sections to come, we'll be looking at our charts to see if this hypothesis is correct. Behavior of Fibonacci retracement levels relative to extension levels. We want to see for every retracement there is an alternative extension. For every retracement there will be an extension. We want to see the behavior of this retracement and the extension, and how they can help us to predict possible price movement, how they can help us to predict the most likely place that price will extend to before retracement. A 0.618 Fibonacci level, looking at a bearish swing. 0.618 acts as natural Fibonacci resistance. Now look at that. 0.618 acts as natural Fibonacci resistance level in a bearish swing AB. What is a swing? A swing is a movement from a point to another point. So when price is moving, depreciating from point A to B, we call AB as a swing. So price does extend to 1.618 of AB to complete a full wave cycle ABCD when there is a retracement at 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. Now looking at this chart, we can see that price started from point A and moved down to a point B. Then it retraced to 0.618, that's 61.8 level. That point was a resistance. Now once price retraced to 61.8 level, according to Fibonacci law, it is expected that price will extend to 1.618 extension level to complete a full wave cycle. And looking at the chart, we'll see that price retraced to 61.8 level, moved down until it finally reached its extension at 1.618. Once price gets to 1.618, it will complete a full ABCD pattern. Amazing. And that is Fibonacci in trading currencies. Once we know that price retraced to 61.8 and knowing fully well that price moves in ABCD pattern, C is the highest point of retracement, we'll know that price will get to 1.618. So that could help us to determine the final target if we are selling. 0.618 Fibonacci level, bullish swing. Now in a bullish swing, 0.618 will act as a natural Fibonacci support level. Now when price retraces to 61.8, it is expected that price will move to 1.618 to complete a full wave cycle. Looking at the chart, price started from a point A, moved to a point B to form a resistance. Then price retraced to point C at 61.8 extension, 61.8 Fibonacci level, and it moved up beyond B to a point D at 61.8, that's extension 1.618 extension. That's amazing. And when price got to that extension level, it started depreciating further. So extension 1.618 will be final target. Now if price could retrace to point C, now with Fibonacci ratio, we could have a projection, a possible projection of price movement. That is how important Fibonacci ratio is in trading. Is 0.786 Fibonacci level. Now 0.786 is a deep retracement. Now let's look at bearish swing. According to Fibonacci, once price retraces to 78.6, it is expected that price will get to 1.27 extension to complete a full wave cycle. On our chart, price started from a point A, dipping till it got to point B to form a support. Once the support is formed, it rallied, it retraced till 78.6 of AB. Now when price got to 78.6 AB, with our previous knowledge, we should be able to envisage possible price extension, and that's what Fibonacci does to our trading. Price got to 1.27 extension. This is awesome. Imagine combining this knowledge with trendline analysis. We are on the top. We are getting close to being a professional trader. Once we can get this nitty-gritty and we're able to merge them together to form a formidable trading method. 0.786 Fibonacci level. Now bullish swing. The same thing applies to a bullish swing. Price started from a point A, rallied to point B, and price retraced to point C at 78.6. Now once price retraced to 78.6, the expected extension from what we've learned is 1.27, and price got to 1.27 to form a D. We can see A, B, C, D movement. 0.386 Fibonacci level. 0.386 is a shallow pullback. They are normally seen on a trendy day. And they moved to their extension faster than the other Fibonacci level. 0.386 are seen on a trendy day, and they move swiftly to its natural Fib target. So in 0.386, once they are seen, we expect that price will move to point D faster comparing to other Fibonacci retracement level. Looking at this chart we have on the screen, price moved from a point A to B and retraced to point C at 38.2. Now, having in mind that the 8.2 price will move swiftly to its final target, and they are seen on a trendy day when the trend is moving faster than the normal days. Of the trading days, we can see like 1 or 2 trendy days in the trading week. So once price gets to the 8.6 and starts moving up, we should expect a fast and aggressive move to the extension level. On the chart, price rallied from a point A to point B, retraced to point C at 38.6, and it went to its extension level at 1.6. The long bullish candle we are seeing, the long bullish bar with a good body, is an indication that the price was moving in a very fast way. It's moving swiftly. It's moving faster than a normal trading day. Fibonacci level 0.38 bearish swing. The same thing is applicable to bearish swing, shallow pullback, and the fast and aggressive movement to 1.618.